What's going on, Motor City Sports Talk family? We in a building, talking some more Detroit Lions. Salute to all the brothers and sisters out there holding us down. Definitely appreciate you guys sharing the videos and everybody that's donated to the channel and shared the videos, man. But let's get into it, all right? It came out yesterday, I think Jay Glazer reported on Fox pregame that the Detroit Lions tried to trade for Seattle Seahawks running back Rashaad Penny out of San Diego State. The Seahawks kind of shocked everybody, and took Rashaad Penny with the 27th overall pick. He was set to go anywhere between rounds 2 and 4, and they reached and took him. And the Lions, that's who the Lions wanted to pick with their first pick in the second round. The Lions tried to offer the Seahawks a deal for Rashaad Penny. The Seahawks refused, and obviously Rashaad Penny hasn't done well this season. He hasn't been able to play over Chris Carson. He hasn't been able to play over Mike Davis, and he's just not starting to make some noise. He had a big run versus Green Bay, and, you know, he got like 200-something yards this season, 4.7 yards to carry, but he can't pass protect. And he can't get on the field, really. Only reason he's starting to play now is because Chris Carson's been dealing with an injury. But Mike Davis, I still believe, is taking the majority of the carries. So that's something to think about for a second. And the Bob Quinn, after passing up, Alvin Kamara and some other solid running backs that year, Kareem Hunt, who he went to go work out at Toledo, they ended up taking Mike Roberts. He was really going to mess up and take Rashaad Penny. Rashaad Penny isn't as good as Kerryon Johnson or as seasoned as Kerryon Johnson. Kerryon Johnson is a very, very seasoned running back. He doesn't have the explosion, the big, downfield speed as Rashaad Penny, but he can pass block. He can catch. Rashaad Penny was a guy that returned kicks, returned punts, was a jack of all trades at San Diego State, and he did that in whatever conference they in. Okay, the Mountain West, whatever it's called. Kerryon Johnson did major work versus SEC defenses, and it seemed that Bob Quinn was going to mess up the pick. All right, now I'm skeptical about his evaluation of talent, because that's a pick he easily could have got wrong, and he also would have mortgaged some of our draft potential this year or maybe next year by getting Rashaad Penny, and he wouldn't have worked out here. You know what I'm saying? Kerryon Johnson is a very talented back. He barely, he's finally getting into the rotation, and, it ain't really no holes for him to run through, okay? I ain't gonna say no holes, but the schematics sucks. Jim Bob Cooter don't know how to run the ball. They bought an offensive run game coordinator, new offensive line coach, and they still schematically suck at running the ball. I gotta throw this in there. Jim Bob Cooter sucks at utilizing the tight end. Look at Eric Ebron, all right, with Indianapolis. All right? So, Bob Quinn was going to get Rashaad Penny. And who knows, maybe Rashaad Penny works out for the Lions. Maybe, he was what the Lions needed. Maybe Seattle's not doing something right. But I'm just going to step out on a limb and say Seattle knows a little bit more about running the ball more effectively than the Detroit Lions. And Rashaad Penny would have got here and not been able to run block, got Stafford killed even more, okay? So, by Seattle not taking the deal and believing in Rashaad Penny, which he can go on, and Rashaad Penny can be a way better back in the long term than Kerryon Johnson. That can happen, okay? It's still early, but from the looks of it, Kerryon Johnson was pro-ready. If Kerryon Johnson was in another uniform with another team that was more competent at knowing how to run the ball and know how to have a competent offensive coordinator in the system, Kerryon Johnson probably be Rookie of the Year right now, okay? Easily. They haven't showcased his ability to catch the ball at the backfield as much neither. He can really catch the ball at the backfield, but, for some reason it's all about theoretic. A guy, in theory, who ain't even a running back naturally. He's a receiver. He's a slot receiver. But, so Rashaad Penny was the guy that they wanted to target. And this is a guy that was, when he first comes to the draft, this is a guy that was probably 3, 4, 5, ranked in the draft. Rounds 3, 4, and 5. Okay, a lot of people wanted the Freeman character out of Oregon. A lot of good running backs, all right? But I didn't understand, rewinding, some ancient, well, I'm going to say ancient history, recent history, why the Lions did not draft Alvin Kamara, Kareem Hunt. I didn't really understand that. If you was looking for a running back that was a jack of all trades that can catch the ball and run, I mean, Kareem Hunt is really good at that. Alvin Kamara is really good at that. I mean, they took Tease Tabor that year in the second round. I mean, it's hard to really gauge if Bob Quinn knows how to evaluate talent, because sometimes he look like a star. Okay, so Kenny Galladay, who else he done picked up? Kerryon Johnson, I've seen that was a mistake. Deshaun Hand, he looking like he knows what he doing, all right? Sometimes. And then for every one of those guys, you got Ashawn Robinson, Miles Killebrew, Taylor Decker. Taylor Decker, I don't know. Ever since shoulder injury, he ain't been right. But you got a Tease Tabor, a Jerry Davis, which is a jury still out on him. So obviously you really just don't know. Tracy Walker look like a player that could be here for years. So he looks good sometimes, okay? Really do. Frank Ragnow, jury still out on him. It's only year one. But this would have been a huge mistake. A huge mistake. And the reason why Kerryon Johnson probably wasn't the first round pick is because he don't look and he ain't built like no running back. He's long, lanky, but he's strong. Had the most yards after contact in college football. He ain't the fastest guy in straight line speed, but you know what? He a football player. He reminds me of Le'Veon Bell when you give him the holes to be able to glide and cut. His ability to catch the ball at the backfield, Jim Bob Cooter hasn't taken advantage of that. Theoretic runs the same, option routes the same, Texas route the same, plant and go to out route off the option route. Runs the same routes. There's no creativity. And for Kerryon Johnson to almost have 500 yards, for Kerryon Johnson to break over 100 yards twice this season, Rashaad Penny wouldn't have did that. Rashaad Penny wouldn't have broke over 100 yards. He can't start over Mike Davis. I ain't never heard of Mike Davis before. He can't start over Chris Carson. So how was they going to put him on the field when Kerryon Johnson was clearly more talented than Theo Reddick, clearly more talented than LeGarrette Blount, clearly more talented than Amir Abdullah before they cut him and Theo Reddick went out. He was battling with injury, Theo Reddick. He was battling with snaps with those three at some point in time. Rashaad Penny never would have gotten out on the field. As soon as he missed the first block, he'd have been on the bench. Rashaad Penny never would have been able to get into a rhythm. Kerryon Johnson has overcame a lot with the Lions. A running back that was known for carrying the load at Auburn, known for running over Georgia, known for running over Alabama, and having no real quarterback play behind him, but he was a dog. He overcame, subpar, competition around him, stealing snaps from him. He's overcame Jim Bob Cooter, who don't know nothing about running the NFL offense, let alone the Pee Wee offense. He overcame all that to have almost 500 yards on minimum carries. He overcame all that, not being able to showcase his skills as a pass catcher out the backfield. Bob Quinn made a mistake and made the right pick in Kerryon Johnson. He made a mistake. And then they tried to front like that's the guy they wanted. Now, I wonder if Kerryon Johnson feels some type of way. They trying to act like, oh, he's so great, he's so this and that. And that's probably, that might, in this video, that might hint at why the Lions don't play Kerryon Johnson more. Because it's not the running back they wanted. They didn't hold him into high regards. I guarantee you, I bet you, they probably would have gave the starting job to Rashaad Penny. Rashaad Penny would have continued to get more snaps and more snaps, no matter how many pass blocks he missed in the backfield or how many running back reads he messed up. Because that's the guy they wanted. But, hey, that's Bob Quinn for you. No, it is what it is, man. Let me know what y'all feel. I'll link the article in the description. They took the video down and Jake Glazer saying it, though. But Motor City Sports Talk, make sure you want to check us out on social media. We're on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Also, you want to make a donation to the channel. That link's in the description as well. I want to do more preview shows, but I'll be busy on Saturday, so I apologize for the lack of preview shows. You can reach out, email me, DM me at those social media platforms. We gone.